Welcome to a beautiful day on the farm. Today we're draglining John Shaendorf Dairy. Quick run through of our equipment for our draglining operation. Today we're being fed by semis. We've got 6 semis currently running today with our 10,000 gallon stainless tanks with 8-inch Husky boom kits. Tank unloads around 22 to 2,500 gallons a minute. Feeding our Balzer 23,000 gallon frac tank. Frac tank is also used to fill field spreaders. Then off the frac tank, we are feeding our Cornell 6N HTB pump. Pump sucks through an 8-inch line. It's fed by a Cummins N14 or powered by a Cummins N14 with a transmission, 10-speed. Transmission is used for overdrive primarily, so the engine can run at a lower RPM and still perform as needed. This pump pulling through the 8-inch hose maxes out right around 2,300 gallons a minute, running around 145 to 150 psi. We're feeding 8-inch main line. The 8-inch main line is then going to a series of drag hoses, 330 feet of 7-inch drag, then 990 feet of 6-inch drag. That allows us to go half mile, corner to corner in a field. Can run up to about 60 acres on one set. Support equipment, we've got our gator for running the line, pulling hose around, laying out the hose, very useful. In the back of the gator we've got a few pieces of equipment, pull caps, hose pinchers, if there is an issue. Then we've got a 425 CFM compressor, old trusty. That blows out the line when we're done through the pig launcher. We can pull that top cap, put in a pig, which is just a foam ball, and then close the valve on the discharge of the pump, open the valve on the pig launcher, turn on the air, and squeeze out the line. That'll push out anywhere from 900 to 1,500 gallons a minute. Depending on how far away we're pushing. Takes roughly 20 minutes to do a little over a mile. Less, of course, as we're not going as far with hose. Then we also have over here our John Deere 8270 with a hose humper. We use that to switch sides, manipulate the hose, move it over so the dragline applicator can get better coverage on the field, reach little corners in unevenly shaped fields. And then also a John Deere 7200 with a Bambauer hose cart to pick up and lay out our hose. Out in the field for an applicator, we're pulling a 3-point mounted Bambauer toolbar, 22-foot width for injection with 11 Dietrich 60 series injectors. Those injectors are running 4 to 6 inches deep to keep the nutrients right in the root zone of the crop. It's got high rate 12-inch sweeps on it. We can go anywhere from 5,000 gallons per acre on up to as high as 30,000 if the field calls for it, and the manure analysis is low enough that it can handle that. And we can keep 30,000 gallons an acre in the ground if we need to, without runoff, particularly on a nice flat field like this. Works very well. The operator in the tractor has a Krone flow meter right on the applicator toolbar, so he can read in real time what the flow is, and radio if there's any issues to the pump operator. We have handheld two-way radios that we can communicate with. Also with the radio, we've got a keypad that we can punch in a code to shut down the pump if there is a problem. The pump over here that I built has dual 8-inch intakes. That way if we're sucking right out of the pit, and we can deal with raising our flow rates up, we can pull off of two 8-inch suction lines simultaneously. Helps getting a more even flow. Today, pulling off the frac tank, that really is not needed because we're shut down often enough as it is, waiting on trucks. Pretty simple setup with the discharge and the launcher. Pressure gauge right on the discharge side, so the pump operator can maintain safe levels and also see if there's any potential problems out in the field. With this setup running, we burn a couple hundred gallons every about 1.2 million right in there. And then when we're transporting from field to field, we can put our gator right on the front of the trailer, transport that up the road. Another vital support vehicle or equipment is the service truck, equipped with everything we need to repair hoses if need be, if we see damage in a hose. As you can see, there's a bit of hose that was cut off. Found some damage after or before layout, and rather play it safe than sorry. Got some spare pigs, hose menders, couplers, reducers, another set of hose pinchers, spare oils, welder, fuel tank, everything that's needed just to keep this operation going. We've been running this setup in one form or another for the last several years here at John Shaindorf Dairy. It's been working very well. In the last full 2 years of draglining, we've yet to have a failure where we didn't have equipment on hand out in the field that could take care of the situation and get back up and going within an hour or so. It's worked out quite well. Purchased the pump engine used from another farm. Had a Cornell 4N HTB behind it. Upgraded that to the 6-inch. Increased our flow rates tremendously, and then we were also able to suck directly off the frac tank. With the 4N HTB, it did have to be force fed with the pump on the frac tank just to keep our flow rates at a reasonable amount. We do have two booster pumps, 250 horsepower engines with Cornell 4N HTBs behind them, directly coupled, so that we can boost up our flow when we're going farther away. With this pump, it's very reasonable to run 1.5 miles of hose and still keep our flow rates above that 2,000 gallons a minute, and our pressure is around 150 psi. Working load on the hose is 200 to 250 psi, depending on which hose is on the 8-inch main line. We run two different types. They've all worked very well. Also out here in the field, we bring a Bring a skid steer as needed to smooth out the drive as the trucks enter and exit the field, just to keep things smooth. And then when we leave, either ourselves or the farm that runs the field that we're on will deep rip the area where the trucks are driving. And when we leave with the drag line, generally the frac tank will stay and feed spreaders to fill in headlands, any pieces that the hose couldn't reach, so we can get 100% coverage on the field for the farmer or for ourselves on our own fields. Since we started drag lining, a very large advantage that we've found is that we've had a tremendous amount of cash croppers coming to us asking if we would put manure on their ground because of the advantages of drag line. Extremely low compaction, even spreading without the gaps that you get with a spreader as the spreader starts to run out. Here we're currently shut down waiting on trucks, early morning, so we're not even running at full capacity with all the trucks. But when the pump runs out of manure, he's still getting full flow until the moment I shut down and watch the pressure drop. And then when we start up, same thing. He's got pretty much full flow within seconds of startup. Just another beautiful Saturday morning on the farm.